What it do, what it do, what it do. Old School Fridays is in effect right here on Pitch Black Radio Show. Thank you for tuning in. We got a dope show for you today. Good music, classic old school, none of the modern stuff. It's all your history getting brought to you. We also have a very, very special guest in the studio today, all the way from San Francisco, California. He goes by the name of Jim Larkin. What's going down, Mr. Jim Larkin? How you doing?
Ain't nothing but the same old, you know. I'm doing fine here in Bali, you know, cooling out my heat.
Yeah, Jim Larkin is old school soul, blues, funk singer from San Francisco, California. We're going to talk to him a little bit later on. Yeah, have you seen, we drop the old school cuts on here on the show every single Friday. And a lot of these acts that we play, you know, it's part of the culture, you feel me? So I agree. Even before I even knew who the artists really were, I knew the songs because, my parents was listening to it, and folks from, my parents and
stuff. Yeah, I do.
You know the parents.
I remember a show at the Richmond Auditorium in California, Richmond, California, where James Brown was performing. And he was doing his song, Please, 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 where he dropped to his knees and they wrapped a cape around him and he did his little number and he came up and I forgot what the next song he went to, but what he did is one of his band members went to the front of the stage and he got on the dude's shoulders and they walked out into the audience. If the place was packed and James Brown was sitting on his shoulders and he out there singing on the dude's shoulders, all of a sudden the microphone disappeared, all of the cape disappeared. It was on his ass, right? The women was grabbing him and pulling him and shit like that, snatched him off of the man's back and stuff like that. I mean, that was the scene. Then you heard boom, 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 and everybody broke out running.
Oh, shit. Richmond, California.
Richmond, California, that's it.
Jim Larkin, who's in the studio with us right now. His song was Wang Dang Doodle. Jim Larkin, what's up, man?
Oh, same old thing, man. You know, like Wang Dang Doodle, it's a hot old blues song. I mean, old blues song. I just flipped it a little bit. I really, let me tell you, I had an experience many, many years ago when I was just in my teens. I started singing. They had a club in Fillmore called in Fillmore, San Francisco.
Gotta represent, baby.
They had a club called the Primalon Ballroom. Primalon Ballroom was the forerunner to the Fillmore Auditorium. But at the Primalon Ballroom, you'd have people coming in like Fats Domino, people coming in like Albert King, B.B. King. And so I was in my teens, about 14, 15 years old. We'd slip in the back door. And dudes knew we had one of them doo-wop groups, and it was B.B. King, Albert King, and I don't remember who else was there. So they let our little doo-wop group get up on the stage in the presence of B.B. King and them, right? So we was about 13, 14, 15, so we back in the bathroom, we had to take a little nip to get our courage up, right?
Courage juice.
So we was drinking white port and lemon juice back in them days, right? So we go up on the stage just skunky drunk, we just kids, right? And, and it was just a pleasure to play with B.B. King. Then B.B. King talking about, oh, you young bloods off in here now, y'all gonna do your thing. He talking that smack, But we was up there, we did our little doo-wop number. We was so loaded, I mean, it came off the stage and throwing up and going on. I mean, that was back in what? In the 50s? That was back in the 50s. That's when that was.
So tell us a little bit about the history of you growing up in Fillmore and doing music and just seeing that particular era of music.
Well, Fillmore, was they call it the West Coast Jazz Corner. Fillmore was the West Coast Jazz Corner. Also had a strong taste of Bourbon Street in New Orleans kind of scenario, because there was a lot of blues, there was a lot of jazz, there was a lot of music going on in Fillmore. When I was very young, I used to shine shoes at 19 years old on Fillmore Street, and at that time Fillmore was packed with SPs and MPs, that's military police, because World War II was going on. This was now in the 40s. In the late 40s. So I'm shining shoes and all this stuff is going on. And it was just bars and speakeasies and gambling shacks, and it was Fillmore was really a financial mecca there with black folks off in there, making the money, and the Primalon Ballroom and all these different places. And so So as I came up in that area, by the time I was 13, 14 years old, I was tap dancing. I was tap dancing in a place called the Long Bar. It was a great big old bar, long bar. Everybody would be in there, and I would tap dance. Me and a dude named Happy Feet. We would tap dance on the bar for money. You know, they had the Champagne Supper Club. All the old groups, the Orioles, the Orioles, the Spiders. I mean, it goes on with all the old groups came into Fillmore, and they have these clubs that they put on shows. It was a show. So they would have a chorus line of girls coming out dancing, and then they'd have local talent. I was part of the local talent, little teenage band, and then they would have a major Sonny Tills and the Oreos or the Dominoes. They had these were old groups. There was the foundation of R&B. It was serious rhythm and blues. You know, there wasn't no jive on that, and that was so interconnected with the blues, because the blues and rhythm and blues was tied so tight that, you know, a person would be singing, you know, blues and just flow right into the rhythm and blues. People like Wilson Pickens, if that's the way they wrote, that's really James Brown's root is back there, you know. So I was blessed to grow up in that time period, and it was interesting. It was truly interesting, you know. And I mean, it just grew. I mean, you had a diversity of talent in San Francisco, because you had places like the Black Hawk, and you had places like Bop City. So the Black Hawk developed a person like Johnny Mathis. I sung at the Black Hawk with Oscar Peterson, you know, when I was in my early 20s. I sung at Bop City with Sammy Davis Jr. You know, I mean, that was the after-hour spot where all the players, if they was in the city or in the Bay Area, they would come to Jimbo's Bop City. That opened at 2 o'clock in the morning and went till 6 in the morning. Then you go from there to Jack's, which is called the Boom Boom Room now on Fillmore. The Boom Boom Room was Jack's there, and that was, you know, that was the real deal there. That was hot.
Yeah, and you mentioned that, and just bringing that to that, you're now here in Bali doing soul music and presenting all this history and this wisdom in not only the art form itself of singing and with the music, but with just the culture.
That's
the
it.
History of the culture.
That's it.
And so, what would you say with this and presenting it to the musicians that are here, not only in Bali, but because this is internet radio, so we got listeners in Jakarta, we got listeners in Hong Kong, wherever. What would you say in terms of connecting that soul and that essence into the music that's being put out there for them?
Well, I would first say it's just good to understand where the music come from. To understand, I heard a very good musician here in Bali teaching young people about soul music and where it came from. He's told them it came from jazz. And so that went to show his limitations of understanding the music that he calls himself playing. You know, I can't be any clearer than the fact is, it's not how many notes you play, how many runs you do, how long you hold a note, or how pretty it is. It ain't about that. It's about understanding the music, the essence of the music, because truly everybody got soul, you know. But understand, if you're gonna speak to a music, and particularly blues music, who's pretty much time sensitive, you know, understand what's going on during that time that make people respond the way they respond, you know. Understand the essence of it, and just you know, understand the essence of it, and see. So like if we're singing or whatever it is, you look at our musicians, they're playing, they in the rhythm, they in the groove, you know, they in the groove. And so like it might be a point where it turns to something sensuous or something like painful. It's not a beautiful note. When you hear "oh baby, it's not "oh baby, oh baby, oh baby." You know, it's pain off in there. Right. You know, and if you don't really understand that, all you're listening to is notes, you done missed the whole ball game. And that's the same way of playing the music. My cousin came out here the first couple of years with me, and he used to say, "Jim, man, they don't know how to lock in the pocket, man. They don't know how to sit in the pocket, you know." And these are good musicians, and they didn't even know where the pocket was, you know. So it's a lot. It takes time, but you know, do your homework.
Right. And you just recently had a birthday too here out here.
Yeah,
So
boy.
just because I talk about being an elder and hood people, how old are you now, man?
Well, I just made a 7-7. Oh no, 7-7. Well, it don't make a difference which way I put them sevens. I just made 77.
77 years old, still going strong, still got big spirit, still want to create good music, still trying to elevate minds and hearts. That's a blessing. It's a blessing, man.
Thank you, my
I'm
brother.
very grateful to have you here on this island, man.
It's damn good to see you here, man. We finally connected.
For sure. And everybody out there tonight, if you want to go out, hit up Ubud. If you went up in Ubud, go up to the Jazz Cafe. Again, Jim Larkin's getting down with the band. Some of the area crew will be up there on the dance floor putting it down. And also other folks tonight. If you're down in Seminyak, I'm going to be playing Stevie Wonder musical. It's Stevie Wonder's birthday this weekend. So we're doing a tribute, me and Stevie G at Mantra. So it's Stevie Wonder music all night. This is our 3rd year in a row doing it, called So Wonderful. Come through if you're in Seminyak. If you're in Ubud, go up to the Jazz Cafe. And you got soul music popping tonight. In every little section, so you can't miss it. Any last, final, just quick little one you want to say before you get up out of here?
I've said it. Social consciousness.
You said it. That's what it is. That's right. That does it for today. Pitch Black Radio Show is signing up out of here. If you're just tuning in, damn, I'm sorry you missed it. But it's all good. We had Jim Larkin in here, and it'll be repeated tomorrow night at midnight. So tune back in. But before we get up out of here, what we dropped before we got up, this last block was open with Stevie Wonder's I Wish. We had Marvin Gaye with Inner City Blues, played Nina Simone with Revolution, and Mary McCreary with Singing the Blues. And thank you once again for tuning in. Again, Jazz Cafe tonight, about 8:30. Jim Larkin, the Soul Saucy Band, Soul Train. Or if you're down in the Seminyak area, hit up Mantra. I'm getting down on the 1 and 2s with Stevie G, and it's So Wonderful, a tribute to Stevie Wonder. So come through, enjoy the night, and we always travel out with peace and love.